Yo, it is Alex Jackson here, and in this video, I'm going to explain what proof of work is, what proof of stake is, and how they're both used to keep blockchains secure from attackers. So if you have coins on a blockchain, if you're thinking about using a blockchain, or you're just a curious cat, then you might want to pay close attention. And if you stick around to the very end, we'll talk about the tough choice that some blockchains are making between proof of work and proof of stake. And you'll see why some blockchains are actually making the switch to proof of stake right now, while others are taking a hard stance against it and sticking with proof of work. Now, as always, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Alex Jackson, and along with my mysterious co-founder, Alex Yeller, we work hard to bring you the biggest opportunities, news, and insights in Web3. Whether you're a builder, creator, or you're just crypto curious, we're here to help you learn and profit in this crazy new industry. So if that sounds good, pretend you're minting a rare NFT and spam that like button like there is no tomorrow. It really helps us out. It helps our videos get shown to more people, and that lets us make more content and bring more videos to you. So let's get into it. What exactly are proof of work and proof of stake? Well, they're what's called consensus mechanisms, and they're used to keep blockchain networks secure from attackers. In our previous video, we explained how blockchains work and what you can do with them. So if you haven't already seen that, make sure you check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below. As I was saying, blockchain consensus mechanisms like proof of work, like proof of stake, are designed to make it super difficult to tamper with the blockchain. They're security mechanisms. But what's really cool is you don't even have to trust anyone to keep your data safe. It's all built into the code, into the blockchain. Let me explain. So with a centralized database, one organization controls all of your data. And at any time, they can change or sell your data to third parties or simply wipe your account off the face of the earth. When we use centralized databases, we have to trust a third party to do the right thing. We trust that they're working hard to keep the database secure, that they're being honest with their record keeping. Like take a bank, for example. When you deposit your cash into the bank, you're trusting that bank to keep your funds safe. You're trusting that they'll deliver up your money when you need it, when you ask for it. And you're trusting that they're not actually going to lose every single cent.
It's gone. It's all gone.
What's all gone?
The money in your account. It didn't do too well. It's gone.
Now, you might laugh, and that might actually sound impossible, right? But this stuff really does happen. Take UK bank Northern Rock, for example. They'd been around for over 150 years, but when the GFC hit in 2008, they actually ran out of cash and had thousands of customers lining up outside to withdraw their money. Pretty crazy, right? And what's worse is these banks have little to no accountability, and they often end up getting bailed out by you, the taxpayer.
Banks took the money the American people gave them and they used it to pay themselves huge bonuses and lobby the Congress to kill big reform. And then they blamed immigrants and poor people.
So if we can't trust banks, who can we trust? What if we don't have to trust anyone at all? It's now possible thanks to blockchains. See, instead of trusting a centralized party or a bank to keep your funds safe, thanks to the genius game theory behind blockchains, you don't have to trust anyone. And this game theory all starts with something called proof of work. It was referenced by Satoshi in his iconic 2008 white paper, and proof of work really is a foundation of Bitcoin's trustless security model. It's really a pretty simple concept too. Here's how it works. So first, Bitcoin miners fire up a heavy-duty computer, then they gather together a whole bunch of transactions into a data set called a block. Then they play a little game. Here's how the game works. Whoever's computer is first to solve a super complicated cryptographic puzzle wins the game.
You win!
In exchange for this hard work, the first miner to solve the puzzle wins a block reward. Right now, that reward is 6.25 Bitcoin. At about 38K each, that's over $230,000 reward. But why even play this game? What purpose does it actually serve? Well, on one level, the work that the miners do is actually completely arbitrary. It doesn't serve any direct purpose in securing the blockchain. But what it does do is make it super difficult to tamper with the blockchain later. As Satoshi explained, once the CPU effort has been expended to make it satisfy the proof of work, the block cannot be changed without redoing the work. As later blocks are chained after it, the work to change the block would include redoing all of those blocks after it. In other words, by requiring the miners to perform expensive, difficult computation to create a new block, it becomes impractical to reverse a block after it's added to the chain and start censoring transactions, reorganizing the chain, and messing with the data. It's actually a pretty clever and elegant way to prevent fraud and censorship without requiring a trusted third party to do all the work for you. But it does have two big drawbacks. First, it is super expensive. You might not realize this, but Bitcoin proof of work mining uses more energy than a whole bunch of countries, including Switzerland, Argentina, and it could soon surpass Australia. And second, it can make a blockchain super slow. See, doing all of this complex computation takes time, and that time slows the transactions down a lot. As of today, Bitcoin transactions can take 10 minutes to an hour to finalize, which is a pretty experience for users. And that's why a bunch of blockchains have started turning to a new game called proof of stake. Solana, Avalanche, and Polkadot are all examples of proof of stake blockchains. And Ethereum plans to move to proof of stake later this year with the upcoming release of Ethereum 2.0. Now, unlike proof of work, proof of stake doesn't require miners to solve a complex math puzzle. In fact, miners are removed completely from the game and are replaced by validators. To become a validator, you must hold and stake a certain number of coins by sending a transaction to the Ethereum blockchain, which actually locks up your coins in a special deposit box. Then, when it's time for a new block to be added to the chain, an algorithm randomly selects a validator and they get the right to propose and validate the next block. It's like kind of going into a big lottery and winning the right to validate a block. And the number of lottery tickets you have is based on how many coins you stake.
Can I ask you, if you won all the money, what would you do with it?
Bunch of hookers and cocaine.
So let's imagine you've won the opportunity to propose and verify the next block. What now? Well, if you do a good job and you play by the rules and you do everything right, then your block gets added to the blockchain and you're going to scoop up a big juicy block reward and a bunch of transaction fees. Pretty nice, huh? But if you step out of line by allowing fraudulent or fake transactions or just not playing by the rules of the game, your stake will actually be penalized. It's a little bit of game theory designed to keep validators honest and keep the blockchain secure and tamper-proof.
Funds are safe.
So let's talk about the good and the bad with proof of stake. First up, it removes the complex computation that comes with proof of work, which is good because it reduces latency and speeds up the blockchain quite a lot. In fact, some proof of stake chains like Solana and Avalanche, for example, take just seconds to finalize a transaction, which sounds pretty great, right? But it's not all good news, because to get more speed, proof of stake trades off security. If you get control of a large portion of staked coins, for example, you can control the network. And according to a recent article by the Ethereum Foundation and Stanford University, using various sneaky strategies, it could be possible for a validator to censor and reorganize transactions on the Ethereum blockchain with as little as 0.09% of the total stake. And while many think these security trade-offs are necessary to scale the blockchain and allow users to execute cheaper, faster transactions, not everyone is convinced. Many purists, especially those in the Bitcoin community, see these trade-offs as violating the core ideals of blockchain technology by introducing too much centralization and trading off too much security. In conclusion, proof of work and proof of stake are designed to keep blockchains secure without the need to trust a centralized intermediary. And while these mechanisms aren't perfect, relying on game theoretic strategies with inherent risks and trade-offs, they've certainly proven their usefulness and utility so far, with over $1 trillion of value being created on blockchains using proof of work and proof of stake mechanisms. Okay, so that's it for this video. Oh, and one last very important thing before I sign off. Please remember to drop a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the video. If you loved it, if you hated it, if you have any questions about proof of work or proof of stake or consensus mechanisms, drop them down in the comments below. We answer every single question and we really appreciate it. It helps our channel grow, helps us get in front of more people, helps the YouTube algorithm. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.